Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary, Ashton, and this is our Friday night Smackdown review, the go-home show before Royal Rumble this Sunday, which we will be live reacting to, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing the show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I gotta say, overall, I had fun with this episode of SmackDown. Obviously, my favorite storyline going on, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. I thought they hit it out of the park again tonight. Although I will say, between the build-up that they had last week compared to what they contributed this week, I probably would have switched it around because I did want, I was really expecting just another, actual in-person altercation. That's what I thought the showdown was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be, a via satellite kind of thing, which was great. I feel like they hit it out of the park, but I would have just switched it because I feel like, when it's a go-home show, you want to really leave with that energy of, oh, my God, that was just a taste. What are they going to do at Rumble? But, it is what it is. I think they did a great job promoting the men's match. I mean, Daniel Bryan is a certified fucking hype man. He really hyped the men's Rumble for this Sunday. So I feel like this show accomplished a lot. Ashton, what did you think about it, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like the show kind of had a weird vibe for me just because, if I'm not mistaken, the entire second half of this 2-hour show was dedicated to basically, one kind of long, extended story. So it was really weird in that sense, but the first half went by so quickly that I almost didn't even realize when Bryan versus AJ came on that we had already been through actually over an hour of show already. So it was a really solid first half. There are 2 or 3 bits of news coming out of this show that either really annoy me or just make me downright angry, but we will talk about that in our first segment.
All right, then let's get into our first segment, Heat of the Night. And hell, you were a bit preemptive there. I love to see it, though, the energy. So I'm going to let you have the floor on this. Air your complaints, good sir.
Why the fuck are we, A, revealing who number 30 is in either Rumble, and more importantly, B, having it be between Natalya and Tamina? What the fuck?
Yeah, God. They make such a big deal about number 30 because the Royal Rumble, the whole point is it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So 30 should be a really coveted spot, and you let it be vied for by those two?
Yeah.
Dude, I think what I hate about it isn't just that it's those two doing it, because that's bad enough, but it's just so uninspired. Can you tell us any more that you really don't give a fuck about this match when already, this is your idea of promoting it or building anticipation for it? Again, I actually feel like they've done a somewhat decent job of promoting the men's Rumble. And even though I don't like on that end, let's not remember, dude, that we're also going to learn who's number 1 and 2 in that matchup.
That was another problem that I had, but that didn't actually really happen on this show, so.
Right. Foster says he's not convinced. I don't know, Foster. I think I'm going to heed Paul William Gregory's advice, and I'm just going to take what they show me as fact until shown otherwise.
Exactly.
Although I don't bemoan you for your optimism whatsoever. I wish I had it. But yeah, again, it's just very uninspiring because I don't want to say that the women's build has been bad, but I think compared to men's, it's been a bit lacking, which is really unfortunate because, you've got some great talents in there, Bianca and Bayley most notably, who we will be talking about later in the show. And again, you just have number 30 being vied by these two. I hate it. So I'm right there with you, man. That really sucks.
Yeah. And I wouldn't necessarily call it a heat of the night, but maybe what the fuck is going on here? But the fact that Bryan's style started at, I believe, either 7 or 9 after 9 and went to 9:30, and then we got the whole mass interference thing that just led to a fucking 6-man this felt like the definition of a filler show because of the fact that the entire second half of the show was just nothing.
Yeah, see, I agree with you that it shouldn't be a full-blown heat of the night, so I like how, you qualified that.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a heat of the night because, we're still getting a lot of amazing, talented wrestlers wrestling, which I can't complain about. That's really cool. But, Royal Rumble, go home. What the fuck?
Yeah. I could see what they were trying to do, right? And I think you could as well. Like, oh, this is the energy and the chaos that's going to happen to the men's. But then why not? Because I honestly wouldn't have minded if they did this. It would have gotten some heat, because you got two quality workers in there, and you obviously want to, you want to be able to finish in every sense of the word watching such great wrestling.
Yeah.
But if they just would have done Bryan versus AJ, and then somebody's trying to make a statement at Bryan's expense. Maybe it would be Cesaro because there's been that antagonism the last few weeks. And then the ring fills up, and then it clears out. I mean, they sort of did that in a way, and God, I really got apprehensive.
See, but the reason that they couldn't do that is because that would have required them to write another 20 or so minutes worth of TV so that they could start Bryan Styles around 9:30, because there's no way that they're going to have a regular one-on-one TV match go 50 minutes.
Right, yeah. Oh, God, they really just kind of rolled themselves into a corner with this. Like, oh, let's just pad this time out and hope nobody notices. Well, we noticed. Anything else you want to address?
It's just, I'm sorry, you're ready to move on and I'm still stuck on this.
No, it's fine.
It's just so odd to me that we go from a 1-on-1 match to a 3-on-3 to a 5-on-5. And especially because the transition to the 5-on-5, I feel like the additions were so fucking random. Like the Bryan kind of, with Sami Zayn getting involved, and then of course Nakamura and Cesaro, like all that kind of made some sense. But then Miz and Morrison and fucking Biggie and Otis, or not Biggie, God, who else joined in with Otis there at the very end to make it 5?
Fucking Sheamus joined in, dude.
Yeah! What the shit? Like, what in the world is going on? I don't even know.
Yeah, dude, I love Morrison all day, every day, even though I really haven't been in, that hyper fandom, just because I feel like he's had nothing fucking to do. But, there was no reason for that. And, I'm sorry, and I guess this will be a nitpick for me, because I did let you go first, because you were like, yeah, I've got something to complain about. I really felt like I didn't have any. Oh, that's cool, Foster. I may have to check that out. But yeah, and yeah, Ashton, it is official. Just seeing your message in chat, I think it is, because Cole even said that the Sun's going to defend it this Sunday. So if it comes from Cole, I think we have to treat it as official, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, now I know where I wanted to go. I guess if I had any nitpick, I'm sorry, I don't like the idea of a quarterly invitational, like AJ said in the promo tonight, because it's like, okay, we'll do a brand split, fine, but we're gonna violate it once every couple months, as a treat. No treats for you. No, I don't want any violations like this. Because really, to me, you're already getting it with the Royal Rumble. It's an interpromotional thing. That's when you cross streams. That's what makes it special. But you're flying in the face of that. You couldn't really hold out for 48 more hours. It's ridiculous.
I mean, dude, the worst part about the complaint that you're airing right now is that we literally just had Survivor Series 6 weeks ago. Or I guess it was longer than that now. But 2 months ago, we had the Survivor Series, which they bill as the one time a year that the rosters go against each other. And fucking no, it isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point, it's the one of about 7 times a year that the rosters go against each other.
It's just, I don't know,
man. That tagline isn't as catchy, huh?
Exactly. I'm not saying it's killed my hype, because we talk about hype levels tomorrow for Royal Rumble.
Oh, so I will say, it didn't kill my hype, but some other stuff, like the fact that we're getting to find out who numbers 1 and 2 in the men's Rumble are tomorrow, and the fact that number 30 is going to be either Tamina or Natalya in the women's Rumble, I won't go as far as to say killed, but it definitely harmed my hype, for sure.
Yeah, I think the word I would use, it pretty much adjacent to yours, I would say it's tempered my hype some.
Yeah.
Because, the whole selling point of the Rumble...
I mean, I saw your tweet about Owens Reigns being your most hyped match. And
yeah,
maybe that would have been the case regardless, but I do feel like the WWE could have made it at least competition, maybe one of the Rumble matches or both of the Rumble matches could have been up there for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, and dude, here's the thing. They were going to be, and I'm not saying they're completely not, right? I don't want to be hyperbolic in my complaints, and I know you're trying not to be in yours. But I think you and I can both agree, dude, that the selling point of those matches is the mystery, right? Who's going to be what number? When you're already giving out 3 numbers, number 30 for women's and 1 and 2 for men's, Like, again, it doesn't take away the mystery completely because there are still plenty of other numbers in both matches. But, like, why not just let it unfold? Why not just let it breathe and tell itself?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't...
And of course, it's not just 3 random numbers. Like, if you were telling me who number 20 was, and who number 5 was, and who number 30, or who number, like, I don't know, 16 was, I wouldn't give a fuck. You're giving away key numbers. I always, like... Everyone always loves the anticipation of who's going to be number 30. Like, it's funny because if you actually look back over the last 5 or 6 years, there have been basically no surprises at number 30. Like, the one quote-unquote surprise was Dolph Ziggler coming back after handing in the Intercontinental title for no goddamn reason after, like, a month absence. And other than that, there have really been no surprises whatsoever. And, like, there's also, like, personally, I always enjoy the anticipation of, like, who's going to start the Rumble, who are going to be the first 2 people to really kick this thing off, to kind of get things going, to basically have a straight up one-on-one match for the next 90 seconds before we get a third person involved. I enjoy that too. So, like, it's not just that they're giving numbers away, it's specifically that they're giving the most important numbers away, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the last thing I'll want to say on my end, and then if you have anything else to say, I mean, you can talk as long as you want, that's what this first segment's for. But I think us having this conversation really characterizes SmackDown tonight, and mainly the stuff going on, you know, not necessarily behind the scenes, but, you know, for backstage and just the Rumble hype. In 3 words, lack of restraint. I really don't care for this show's lack of restraint. They couldn't restrain themselves for a few more days before they really had rosters intermingling big time. They couldn't restrain themselves with number reveals, and they look at it as a promotional tactic. I look at it as taking away from the allure of your matchup. Even, again, if it's only a little bit, I want to stay within bounds. And I don't like that lack of restraint that the product showed tonight. I think, you know, especially when this is still regarded as a Big 4 pay-per-view, then fucking act like it. You know, like, I don't feel like they acted like it on this go-home show. And I can't even really say anything about Raw because, you know, we've been doing Among Us on the Discord, which everybody should get in on. That's only $3 a month. You can check out the TWitWoW Patreon. But I can tell you right now, not jumping the gun, I could not give a single fuck about Drew versus Goldberg. So I don't know what WWE is doing, but, like, there's obviously stuff I am hyped about with Rumble, but other stuff I'm like, man, you know, I could have been hyped or I want to be hyped, but I either just don't care or you've made me care less than I was, you know, when I thought that we were going to go all into this clean. So, yeah, I definitely vibe with your nitpicks and tonight, stuff like that. So, okay, anything else you want to say?
Nope.
All right, let us get into our Friday night SmackDown review. And we opened up with Daniel Bryan cutting a promo. So now, see, this is what I mean. This is the right kind of promotion here. Because holy shit. Like, I'm glad that Daniel gets to end his career on his terms whenever that is, because he even alluded to, like, he doesn't know how many WrestleMania moments he has left.
Yeah.
But when he's done, like, I don't care if it's Performance Center or whatever, when it's Big 4 time, like whether it's Rumble, Mania, whatever, you trot this man out to cut at least one promo. You can even call him, like, WWE's PR head or whatever the fuck. I don't care. Because this dude can sell a pay-per-view. You don't have to let Paul Heyman carry that fucking load anymore. No fucking way. Now, if this would have just been it, and they wouldn't have fucking meddled with fucking numbers and chaotic tag matches, I was ready to come on here, dude, and be like, I'm so fucking ready for Rumble, and Bryan's promo was a huge reason why. He killed it tonight. What did you think about this, man?
Dude, if the show had ended after Bryan's promo and then the hyping for the potential AJ versus Bryan match, even, I feel like we would have been much more hyped before finding out a bunch of other shit that we found out tonight.
Exactly. He was so good. You know, he invoked his daughter, Birdie Joe, saying, you know, we're 2 sleeps away from Rumble. And he, you know, talks about the electricity of the match and, like, you know, he's done so many things in his career, hasn't won the Rumble. And, you know, if he wins, he gets to main event WrestleMania. Main event WrestleMania. And if anybody knows how big a deal it is to main event WrestleMania, it's me. And if I could get to do it one more time. I love that because, like, Bryan doesn't even have the feel of, like, an old guy or even, like, a grizzled vet, right? Like, we know he's been through some shit. But,
is
like,
he 40?
He's got to be late 30s, but I don't think he's 40 yet, right?
No, he'll be 40 in May, though.
Wow, so he will be 40 this year.
Yep.
I only thought he was like 38 or something. Wow.
He's 39.
Wow. But no, like the way he cut this promo, it was so endearing because he doesn't even have that grizzledness to him, like that edge to him that comes with all those decades of experience. But like, man, he sold you like I'm at the sunset of my career here. Like I don't know when I'm gonna hang it up, but I've got a little bit left in me, and I want to make it count. And that's the kind of storytelling that gets me amped for Rumble. You don't need to do all this extra shit. This promo alone, this and KO and Roman's sit down tonight, was the best promotional stuff, in my opinion. Obviously, I'd be curious to hear the stuff that got you really hyped for Rumble tonight. But those two things, for me, were the best promotional material for Rumble weekend. Like, I was all about this.
I definitely agree that the Roman Kevin thing, like the way that Kevin got fired up, like that was some king shit. Like that whole segment was ace as hell. I loved that. This was really, really good too. Bryan's promo was great. Really, I would just say that the only thing that I would not want out of it, like the only thing that I disagreed with about this is the fact that we had a Raw guy coming in to interrupt on SmackDown.
And yes, like, God, you really couldn't hold out for those two more sleeps, could you? Because AJ comes out, and they of course do the trash talking. AJ saying he's been dominating Raw, and he's going to win the Royal Rumble. I think he even alluded to that he would throw Bryan over the top rope. And then of course it comes into as we talked about in the opening segment. Well, AJ, if you really feel that strongly, why don't you meet me in the ring tonight? And is it? I kept saying almost, but I feel like they actually really emphasize.
Yeah, they call him Amos, and I fucking hate that. It should be Omos.
Amos. Well, I do want to get it right if that's how they're saying it. So Amos, and man, his presence. I'm almost low-key wondering if he's going to be an entrant in the Rumble, but he's probably going to just try and help AJ not get eliminated.
I want to know what the fuck that patch on his forehead was tonight.
Dude, I wanted to know too, because we probably missed something on Raw, because again, we've been doing Among Us Mondays, but yeah, like I'm looking at that and I'm like, did you get in a bar fight before the show? Like, what's going on there? God damn. But yeah, Bryan's like, look, whether you have him with you or not, I'm still going to kick your ass. And that ended the segment. So, I mean, good energy. I like everybody involved. I just didn't want it to happen, really. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
We go from that to Bayley getting interviewed. And Bayley did a great job here promoting Bianca's Chronicle, which I do want to watch before Rumble. So I'm guessing I'll probably get to watch it like early Sunday before you and I meet up. Because I've been hearing really great things about it. And I enjoy WWE's Chronicles. I watched the one they did on Kevin Owens. Foster said, no, you haven't missed it. No explanation. Well, of course, Foster. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know that. And Bianca said, or excuse me, Bayley said, watch Bianca's Chronicle. It was great. She's strong. She's got a lot of heart.
Do you know when Bianca's Chronicle got put up?
No. Had to be this week, though. Had to be, or not. Well, yeah, had to be this week. Because
I'm guessing it was after Raw then.
Yeah, probably. Last weekend, Mark says.
Oh.
So yeah, Bayley was like promoting it, talking about how great it was, how great Bianca, looked. And she said, the one thing I noticed though is that Bianca's been running away from like all of her challenges and stuff like that for over half her life. Well, ding dong, hello. You're not going to be able to run away from me, Bianca. So I'm almost saying like Bianca would run away from Bayley or that she's scared of Bayley. And Bayley said, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to become, women's champion again because they emphasized that she was champion for 380 days. You love to fucking see it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just does a great job building up the match with Bianca. Then we get to the match with Bianca after we kind of, lay the groundwork, kind of revisit the obstacle course, everything else. What did you think about this match, man? I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Dude, why do you always throw it to me for matches? I barely pay attention to matches on TV these days. I mean, it was fine. It was okay. It wasn't amazing. It was good. And Bianca won. That's all I really can tell you about it.
I mean, that just kind of surprised me because I know, like, we review these. Like, I get it for Raw, but, like, I know so I'm naturally always going to want your thoughts, too, on, like, everything.
Yeah.
We cover everything.
Yeah.
So I would expect you to be a bit more attentive when we're doing TWitWows for these. But I would say that I really enjoyed it. I thought oh, wow. Okay, that surprised me, Javaris. But anyway, I like the match because Bayley, I think, showed great psychology. She went back to Bianca's shoulder, which she even alluded to in the promo. She set into that basketball hoop. So that was kind of a focal point of the match, was her working over Bianca's shoulder. She tried to go for the Rose Plan at one point. Bianca countered into a roll-up. So, just great little telegraph there. Like, oh, I didn't see it coming for the last match. I saw it for this match.
Yeah.
And, they had another great spot. Like, Bianca selling was great here. Some people could actually learn a lot from it, Charlotte, because she tries for the...
Would have been new.
Yeah, exactly. She tries for the double chicken wing, but she doesn't get it off because she starts favoring the shoulder. I love little details like that. And towards the end... Oh, God. Oh, yeah, Bianca had this great spot where she did like a one-handed cartwheel into the corner to create space from Bayley. A great visual. I love that they take every opportunity to show off her athleticism.
Yeah.
And then Bayley's charging into the corner, and Bianca more or less flapjacks her into the top turnbuckle. Yep. And then Bianca gets a KOD that you could even see she struggles with it a little bit. So even then, getting the big power move off, she does at least commit to doing a little bit of selling, being like, it's not as easy as it would be if, both my shoulders were healthy. She does get the KOD off, though, and like you said, Bianca won. And in a way, I don't know how I feel about this. Again, I don't know if I would file this under lack of restraint or if it would just me being petty, because I kind of wanted Bianca more to just get her moment at Bayley's expense at the Rumble. And she still might now, but it does kind of intensify the curiosity who's going to throw who over the top rope. If either one of them is going to eliminate the other, we don't know.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be keep it 100 with you. This absolutely killed any odds that I saw Bianca win in the Rumble. Like, I really like the way that they made such a huge deal out of Bianca just beating Bayley here, to the point that they even gave her a fucking post-match interview being like, oh my God, this is the win of your career. How you feeling? And she said it out loud. She said, this is the biggest win in my career. Fuck, are you going to go from having a girl who feels so much like a rookie that you have to interview her after beating someone with credibility? You expect us to believe her winning the Royal Rumble now?
I mean, well, we're going to talk all about it Saturday at 8, so you just got to wait a little bit longer, guys. But I can understand why, and yeah, Mark, I think, is with you because he just said, yeah, I think Bayley's eliminated now. I can understand your skepticism, for sure. We'll have to see how
dude,
that
I'm going to
goes.
be real with you. I didn't have a Rumble winner picked until... really, honestly, I shouldn't even say until now because I still don't. I don't have a Royal Rumble winner picked yet for either one. But I was tossing 2 or 3 names around for the women's. This match and this segment with her getting that post-match interview after winning a match, I'm no longer considering Bianca for a Rumble winner.
Yeah, I mean, and just to kind of put more context in it, they did interview her because it wasn't just the win. It's like, oh man, this has been such a great week for you because you won the obstacle course, your chronicle dropped, and you beat Bayley. But I do still get the sentiment. Like, it does seem weird to trot out an interview after a match, and like Bianca said, well, the only thing at the top of this is winning the Royal Rumble and bringing the EST to WrestleMania. So we'll see. God, I've only now been really looking at the Rumble template for the mini game that we do, guys. I haven't even begun to fill it in yet. That's me keeping it 100 with all of you. So I have a lot of work to do, but I don't know. I've really been feeling Bianca just on a fandom level. I'm not even talking like objectively. And I've really been like emotionally invested in her potentially winning. I don't even know what other woman I could really be invested in, unless it was a return like a Becky, say. But you already messaged me earlier that currently Becky's not even scheduled for this. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, Bianca beats Bayley, and I thought a great matchup. I'm really loving them both. Bayley is just still on top of her game, even so far removed from her title reign. And Bianca's athleticism just second to none. You'll love to see it. So after that, We get Dominic Mysterio versus King Corbin. Dominic actually tried to get the jump on Corbin before the match even started. Again, I can't believe that this is the fucking feud that's made Corbin look better than he has in the longest fucking time.
I mean, it's really easy to look good by comparison when the guy that you're working with is just constantly getting exposed to be as green as goose shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean also in the fact of like, oh, wow, kayfabe-wise, he's going to jump him because he's that big of a threat. Ray's going to go out of his way and list all of his accomplishments. Like, I don't know why, but this is the feud where they're really making Corbin look good. And to kind of touch on your point, because I'm glad you said it, for me, and I feel like while we've both been critical of Dominic, I feel like it's safe to say that you've been more vocal in your criticisms than I have. But I will say, though, taking the reins there, this match was the worst I've seen from Dominic by far.
And I agree. I agree.
Bad.
That's the thing. Like, I'll give Dominic credit where it's due as far as his matches go. You know, he's been mostly competent up until now. But this match, to me, really exposed him. Bad.
Yeah, dude. Like, so many of the spots looked either ill-timed or just plain messy. And to be honest, I'm going to say it. You know, just talking about the non-kayfabe stuff, thank goodness for Corbin. I feel like he really did his best to, like, keep Dominic safe in there. Even, there was a point where I think he tried a Rana, and, like, I was afraid that was going to, like, be messy, but Corbin, like, held on to him. He didn't drop him, and he got the powerbomb spot off. So, like, really, we can talk a lot of shit about Corbin, and it's true, like, he is an anti-draw, he is this, he is that. But the dude's at least competent in the ring by my measure. I've never seen him hurt anybody.
I mean, dude, we've been talking about that for years at this point. Like, no matter what negatives you might have to say about Corbin, dude can go in the ring.
Absolutely. But and I feel like I only want to emphasize it here because I think it's most important when you're working with somebody that's significantly greener than you are.
Yeah.
And I really commend Corbin for keeping both himself and Dominic safe.
Yeah.
And this is why though. Like, I wouldn't have minded like Dominic in NXT. Hell, some people might have hated it. I don't know how I would have felt about it in execution. But if they would have been like, hey, Santos, you're a fucking veteran. Let Dominic run around with you for a while. Whether it's you beating him up or him being a part of LDF. Like, just work with him, smarten him up. Let him go through the process. Because I haven't really minded terribly up until this point. But tonight was an expose in the worst way. He looked so bad here. I cringed at some of these spots because I'm thinking, dude, you are seriously going to hurt yourself. If you
the one where he tried to slingshot leg drop Corbin and he literally just landed on his feet and Corbin sold it anyway, like, that was brutal.
Yeah, dude. This was rough to watch, guys. And you know, normally I save the complaining for like heat of the night, but like, what would be the heat of the night here? That they're platforming Dominic. They've been doing, like, I'd be so late to the party if that was my heat of the night. So I'm just kind of making an exception, kind of complaining here. This was bad.
And in my case, I already said a while ago that I wasn't going to complain about him anymore because it's like a perpetual thing for me.
Exactly, and I know, like, on that end, I think we can get away with it because I haven't been as vocal again. Yeah. So you're avoiding redundancy, and I'm just kind of exploring territory that I haven't yet. And I'm very selective with my spots, and I had to say here, this was the worst match of the show by far. Yep. And honestly, I'm going to give Corbin some love. I feel like
I was just going to say, I put none of the blame for this match being as bad as it was on Corbin because, like, everything he did was crisp and smooth and looked good.
Yeah, he was the best part of this. Like, I can't believe, like, in 2021, I'm like, yeah, Corbin was the best part of a Corbin matchup. Only fucking Dominic Mysterio, apparently. Yep. So he gets the win after 8 days. He tries assaulting Ray after the match, which, you know, honestly, I'm here for the gumption. I really am. Ray slips out. He sends him into the ring post, and then seated sentons him. And then, he checks on Dominic. So, I don't know, maybe we can reward Corbin with a match against Rey Mysterio next Friday, because that would honestly be far more entertaining than this was. So after this, we got Biggie and Sonia. Biggie's trying to bribe Sonia.
This was such a weird backstage segment to me. I really didn't know what the fuck was going on here.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on with their usage of Biggie. Again, like, I don't know. Because he's got the personality, he's got the charisma, we know that.
He's another one too, man. Like, there was a point in time that I genuinely thought that he might win the Rumble, and now I don't even have him in my Final Four.
No, dude, no. Like, if anybody's ridiculous on this podcast, it's me. I will own that 100%. Even I'm not ridiculous enough to think that Big E's Final Four material, and it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is so good. It's all in the presentation.
Well, that's the thing. The performer's Final Four material, but the character currently is not.
Exactly. I already feel like that Intercontinental title is an anchor. And honestly, here's the fucking weird thing. Big E's, and again, this is just my opinion. I don't know how anybody in the chat feels or how you feel. Big E's character, I won't say it's stagnating because I'm still enjoying the fuck out of it. But, like, Big E's character is what it is, and we wanted it ready for prime time. Meanwhile, I feel like Apollo's character is slowly having developments that are far more compelling. So what I'm getting at is, I feel like the IC title is already an anchor to Big E, whereas I feel like it could be an accelerant for this Apollo Crews at present. The one that's associating with Paul Heyman, the one that's seen sitting with Roman Reigns. Like, that guy I feel like could benefit from the IC title. What benefit is Big E getting out of this that they weren't doing it with it before? What, mid-card feuds? You mean like the one that he had with Sheamus when he was an IC champion? Like, I don't see the upside here.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Just,
you and I are in complete agreement on this, man.
God, it's frustrating, man. I just said today after the coverage of our Stardom show that Stardom has such a ruthless aggression era feel to it, and I qualified that statement by explaining that I feel like Stardom's undercard, for the most part, like, it's so hungry, and it's so good. And here's the thing. So is WWE's undercard, but they just don't know how to be used. Like, again, going back to Stardom, we have Starlight Kid, who you guys know. Anybody that listens to our Stardom reviews, I am fucking living for this woman right now. She liked another one of my tweets today, so I'm also kind of feeling myself there.
Yay.
Because, I just went out of my way. Because I know how, particularly Joshi wrestlers, it seems, really get bullied on social media, so I just went out of my way to be like, no, you are amazing. Keep taking over the world. And, like, you see the growth that she's had. Mayu and Tam. I mean, Tam more representing that upper card that I'm kind of speaking of. I mean, Mayu's just established as all hell. But, like, the growth that she's had, the growth that Kid's had, there's narrative fucking direction. Where's Big E's direction? Where's Keith Lee? I mean, poor Javaris. I hate to put you on the spot, brother, but, like, where's Keith Lee's direction? Because you've been saying the same goddamn thing. What are you doing with these people? Like, they are so ready to take over the world. You know what I actually rewatched, bro, in the midst of this? I rewatched that viral soundbite that Ali had on Raw Talk, where he's like, oh, you're going to trot these legends out for 3 hours. Why won't you let me walk that path? And you can see, I honestly believe Charlie and R-Truth were legitimately uncomfortable. Because they're like trying to stop. Well, you know, they risked their bodies. They did everything. You hear the cheers? Yeah, we heard the piped in cheer. And Ali even said, yeah, I heard those just piped in real good. You know? Like, it's ridiculous, man. These people are so good right now. And you've got Big E doing jokes with Sonya, which, again, that's in line with Big E. Nothing wrong with that. But then who confronts him but fucking Miz and Morrison, who are on Raw? I mean, Miz, I can kind of make an exception for because he does have the money in the bank. Fine, that's fair. But they confront him. They get in an altercation with him. And I feel like Big E, I don't even know if it was on The Bump or whatever show it was. He said, oh, I want to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I would love for you to face Roman Reigns at Mania. It ain't fucking happening, bro. I love you, E, but it ain't happening. What am I seeing here tonight that makes me believe that Big E's going to face Roman Reigns? And then if by some chance he would win the Rumble, I mean, great, but, like, you built it horribly. You know, so it's like you don't win either way.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, is like the WWE could still get the Rumble winners right, but right now there's nobody that feels right that's been built up in a way that would also feel right.
Yeah.
Like the guys, specifically to me, that we've been wanting to win the Rumble, Keith Lee, Big E, I mean, Kevin Owens isn't really an option because of the last man standing thing, but he was one of them as well for a while. Like, those guys could still win it, but it would feel weird for them to win it given how poorly they've been built up to it. And, like,
yes.
And, like, for the women, I guess, it almost has to, like, not apply to the women because, like, Bianca, I think, is the one person that you've been really pushing for to win the Rumble.
Yes.
But, like, who the fuck else is there? Like, it feels so dude, there's literally only 12 women announced for the 30-woman Royal Rumble. Like, what?
Yeah, dude. Oh, God. That's why I fear in a way. Like, it's either going to be a surprise entrant or return. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But then, like, who fills in that vacuous description, right? Because you could either do really well or really horrible, and so we'll have to see, because I really am tight butthole for all of it. So yeah,
it's
Biggie
really sad. I tell you what, dude. It's really sad to me personally that I'm not looking forward to the Women's Rumble this year, because that's like I've literally the last 2 years that we've had it, I have looked forward to that more than the men's, and this is the first year I think since the invention of the Women's Royal Rumble that I have not looked forward to it more than the men's.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll really have to gather all of my thoughts tomorrow, because then we're really going to go into it. Yeah. But yeah, Big E gets into a skirmish with Miz and Morrison. It's a pull apart. It's a whole thing. Then Sasha Banks backstage. I don't care about this feud.
Dude, this segment, like, I didn't put it in Heat of the Night. I probably should have. I fucking hated this segment. What the fuck? Why is Sasha pretending to seduce Reginald? This woman's married.
Yeah, I had the same thought too. I'm like, yeah, because he ain't gonna like that.
It's just so weird to see Sasha get sexualized on TV. That's something that we've never really seen from her before.
Yeah. And it would be weird for me to say, like, I didn't like it, even though I'll admit that was, like, my visceral, like, I just like when Sasha exudes confidence and we don't get to, like, a sensual aspect, because I feel like they've never done that with any of the Four Horsewomen.
No,
right?
No, they really haven't.
Yeah.
The most that we've seen out of that is just Becky being with Seth, and like they're actually together.
Yeah, and even then, they made it more of a comedy than anything. Like,
yeah.
I guess Becky wears
No,
the
you're right, though.
relationship.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's like it's really, really, really weird to see women that it feels like have been intentionally presented as serious athletes. Suddenly now one of them is being presented as a sexual object.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she was just, like, suckering him in so she could deliver the line, oh, you know, what wine is best for Carmella to drink with a broken jaw, kind of thing. But, like, I recourse back to my original thing. I don't care about this feud. You know, like, yeah, point A, this feud sucks. Yeah. Because they had the great match, you know, and I would say I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was at TLC, right?
I believe it was a TLC, yeah. I was racking my brains for, like, when did that even take place again? But yeah, TLC. It's over. She tapped out. Like, why are we still... This just shows, again, how shallow the fucking division is. You're seriously telling me that Sasha fucking Banks, for all my complaints about the promos and stuff as a babyface, can still go with the fucking best of them.
Dude, I was even going to say, we all know that Ruby Riott isn't winning the Royal Rumble. Why couldn't this be her?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Why couldn't we get Ruby versus Sasha instead of more fucking Carmella?
And believe me, folks, just to kind of tie everything together, because you only said this, Ashton, a few moments ago in our review, the reason I've been pushing so hard for Bianca to win isn't just for Bianca's sake, it's also for Sasha's. Because, like, that's a matchup, and I would hope would become just a feud, that would be worth Sasha's time. This is not worth her time. Yes, you got the good match out of it. Great for both women. No disrespect to either of them. But, like, it's over. If Carmella's gimmick only works when she's going after the champion, then it's a shit gimmick. Like, find something else for her to do. Yeah. Because Sasha already did it. So, I don't know. And Javaris, please, bro. Like, I fucking wish. Like, I was even going to say that feuds like this continuing are why, and yes, I understand from the Sasha crew, like, oh, whatever Sasha wants is what matters. Yeah, you're 100% right about that. 100%. But shit like this is why I wanted so badly for her to at least have a year in fucking Stardom. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, because they never stick on shit this long. Even when I feel like they could stick on shit longer than they do, they're like, no, you had your title shot, back in the line. Like, Stardom don't give a fuck. They will move along that train. WWE's like, no, this is a good spot. Let's stay parked here for like 10 more minutes. Fuck. Hate it, man.
I feel like you're being real generous with the 10 minutes number there. 10 more weeks? Yeah, 10 more weeks is more like it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I really just want Sasha to have something better to do. After this, we got a recap of everything, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, which, believe me, don't let my voice fool you. I've, again, been loving it. Then we get Sammy and Nakamura backstage. Well, Nakamura, we see him backstage, and Sammy stops him. Sammy pretty much says, like, oh, this whole conspiracy against me. And Nakamura, think about everything I did for your career. Remember, I liberated you. We did great things together. Every great moment in your career I've been involved in, from your NXT debut to when you won the Intercontinental Championship, every great thing you've had happen in your career, you can pretty much say is owed to me, which, like, wow. He's like, so will you have my back? Will you help me fight this conspiracy and regain the Intercontinental Championship that Biggie stole from me and all Apollo Crews is trying to, get his way into? And Shinsuke just looks at him. Honestly, dude, I don't know about you. I originally thought Nakamura was just going to be like, I don't speak English, and then walk off. But I guess they thought that was too English of a thing. I was waiting for
that would have been so classic, dude. Zayn just spends all like 45 seconds to a minute just talking, just rambling at Nakamura, and Nakamura just like, no, speak English, and walks away. That would have been fucking incredible. Jesus.
It would have been. There were two, and this isn't giving too much away for the rest of our review. I feel like there were two ways they misused Nakamura tonight. One, not using that line, and two, being in the same ring with AJ and not uppercutting him in the balls. I was like,
I think you're just yearning for heel Nakamura again.
Well, yeah, heel Nakamura sans Cesaro, because that heel was tempered a little bit, but singles heel Nakamura didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
None of your nuts are safe.
Initial heel Nakamura, when he first turned, that was, because like, I want to say the whole no speak English thing was literally like his first fucking interaction with anyone after turning heel.
Yeah, but what he actually says is, Sammy, I appreciate everything. Go to hell. I just walks off. So, yeah, Shin, you do you, bruh. I'm here for it. Alright, next up, we got our KO Roman showdown. Now, before I cream my underoos, and because, like you said, you're more attentive on these shows to, like, the talking stuff than the in-ring stuff, yes. I can ask you confidently, how did you feel about this, man?
This was fucking great.
Yes.
Did you hear my drum roll? I did a drum roll on my leg.
I know, dude. This was worthy of a drum roll. Like, can I just say, ahead of our preview predictions, I really fucking hope this match delivers, dude. Like, I really
it's going to. It's going to. I know.
I believe
you're being as cautious as you can, so as to not get your expectations too high. But I really think that they're going to still deliver, as far as like just meeting, if not exceeding, your expectations. This match is definitely my match that I think I'm most anticipating on this show, because of how sort of tempered my expectations have been about the two Rumble matches. I'm very excited about this. This is going to be a really, really good match. Owens, this promo, I mean, the fucking Roman, man, like, Jesus Christ. Roman is an evil son of a bitch. Like, he is malicious. Like, just downright mean on purpose. He does not give a fuck. Like, he's talking about Owens' father. Like, at what point did Kevin say anything about your family? Jesus Christ, when do you go? I don't even know how to talk about this, because like Owens had this great fiery babyface promo and Roman just left in the middle of it.
Yeah, like part of me wants to say that it's really audacious for Roman Reigns to invoke fathers with Kevin Owens in the same segment, but he is a father, so it's like he has the right. But at the same time, I'm irrationally angry about it. So this was amazing. This was fucking great. You could literally hear me, I'm sure, on the podcast, like, smiling right now as I'm talking about this.
Yep.
Because, like, I think sometimes, and I'm not going to call it like an attitude era mentality or anything like that, but I think sometimes people are very reductive about what makes a great match. Like, oh, that guy bled 5 stars, or that promo dropped an S-bomb or an F-bomb like 5 stars. The closest thing was he did call Roman a jackass. He said, that's what my grandfathers and my father would have thought.
Oh, dude, Owens and I actually had a little bit of ESPN going on there, because when Roman asked what he took him for, I literally said out loud, a jackass.
Yeah. And, like, it doesn't really get to that, like, vulgar, profane kind of place, just as I'm sure the Last Man Standing match isn't going to have any blood or anything like that. These two guys don't, that's a crutch to them.
Dude, this is going to be one of those Last Man Standing matches like fucking Cena Batista, where Roman doesn't actually win by beating Owens down to the point that he can't stand. He's going to win in some, like, slick, cheaty bullshit way that keeps Owens basically giving Owens reasons to complain.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's the thing. Like, you bringing that up, I will say this, because, again, I am trying to save as much as possible for tomorrow.
Yeah, I've been giving away a little bit too much tonight, haven't I? Like I'm not even tipsy, you guys. I'm just loose-lipped.
Yeah. But it does, like, Kevin Owens' babyface fire has the same effect on Rumble that it did on TLC. What's the finish going to be? Because when he says, nothing's going to keep me down, I will be the last man standing, it's like, you look in his eyes and you know he means it. You like how is Roman going to do it conceivably? Because, I mean, there are spots that run through my mind. I'm not going to air them here. But, like, I'm thinking, like, how do you stop a guy that believes on that night he is unstoppable? And, like, that's the thing. You've got people in chat like Javaris being like, oh, Roman's the type of guy that'll whoop your ass and convince you it was all your fault. You've got Foster saying anyone else kind of scared of Roman. And, like, that's amazing for Roman. That's the kind of heel that we want and that he's been, and it's fucking great. But that makes baby faces like Owens all the more impressive. Because while fans are saying stuff like that, Owens is like, no, I won't beat his ass. No, I, like, brought my family into this. Brought my fucking children into this. Because let's not forget the segment, even though this wasn't, like, Rumble-related, it's still part of the overall feud, right? Where Roman looked into the camera and he talked directly to Kevin Owens' children. Yeah. Like, he has antagonized KO's family multiple times, and you don't do that shit. And KO is just like, here's your receipt. I'm taking the Universal Championship. I'm going to look in the mirror, and I'm still going to be Kevin Owens. But this time, I'm also going to be Universal Champion. I need to go back and I need to listen to it again. Because, like, every promo this motherfucker has cut is why we wanted Babyface Owens. Like, I feel like these two, God, see, I get excited just talking about this feud. Kevin has said his 2017 Rumble matchup with Roman was one of his favorites of his career. I remember, I think, thinking it was, like, decent, I guess. I am so much more hyped for this because these guys are the alignment that they should be. Yeah. And that's what makes a title match so exciting. When the face is properly a face and the heel is properly a heel. It's wrestling fucking 101. And there's a reason why we adore the basics, because shit like this happens. God. Like, I want KO to beat Roman for the title. And here's the thing, if you were to ask me sincerely, John, do you not like Roman Reigns? I fucking love Roman Reigns. That's how you know, like, that I love him. I want him to lose. That's the job of a heel. I'm getting worked. And it feels great in an age of social media, an age where there really doesn't seem to be any magic anymore. Guys are like, fuck that. It's not that there isn't any magic. We just, have to be given the chance to create it. And they've been given a whole canvas to create it. And it's been... This may very well be WWE's best feud of the year. And I know it started in, like, 2020, but, like, fuck, I don't know if anything the entire calendar year for them is going to, live up to this. I'll give them the chance to, obviously.
I mean, yeah, of course. Like, you're going to give them a chance. But you're right that this is a really, really strong contender already.
Yeah, like, it's just been so good. I am here for all of this. And, like, I love, too, if I could just take a breath and talk about this a bit more substantively. Look at the talking styles, right? Kevin is very passionate, but not like Mick Foley-Ellie. Honestly, after the whole Penn shit, fuck Mick Foley. But Roman has gotten, I still think this guy's okay, I hope, I don't know. But, like, Roman, to me, has got, like, that Jake Roberts energy. He's so soft-spoken, but that soft-spokenness belies a maliciousness. And it fucking works. Like, dude, honestly, and I don't, maybe this should be a nitpick. I didn't take it as one. I really had to, like, strain my ear and, like, prick my ear to hear what Roman was saying, because he's just that soft-spoken. Because he doesn't need to raise his voice when you run the fucking table.
And you know what, too, dude? I love, because you're kind of bringing this up in a roundabout way, I love that Kevin acknowledged that Roman was putting on an act. Like, he told him that he was, like, playing... mob boss.
Community theater version of a mob boss.
Yes! Oh, that was so good. That line is gold.
Dude, they just need to deliver. Because I have been saying, and this is me kind of a bit being loose-lipped, because on Twitter, I called them doing a last man standing match weeks ago.
Yeah, you've been calling for this since TLC, man.
Yeah, and I've said, if it goes the way that I'm hoping it goes, WWE's got its first installment for Match of the Year Contender 2021.
Yeah.
Like, because the animosity, the emotion, the motivation, everything is perfectly aligned. Hell, even Paul Heyman, and that's another thing I want to say too, because he talked a little bit tonight. Paul Heyman has been rehabilitating his character for me by running with Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
that is how
dude.
Fucking powerful the tribal team is.
100%, yes, absolutely. Because, like, Heyman with Brock has gotten so stale at this point that, yeah, like, he needed this.
And dude, like, I wanted to ask you personally, because I have a point to ask you this. Do you ever go out of your way to watch Talking Smack? Because I know Paul Heyman co-hosts it with...
I haven't gone on my way to watch it, but I do see clips every Saturday on Reddit.
Dude, Paul Heyman fucking kills on that show. Now, granted, I only went back and I watched the most recent episode last Saturday. I don't know what tomorrow's going to be like for Talking Smack. I'll have to check that out, and Bianca's Chronicle on Sunday. That'll be like kind of my Rumble preparation, right?
Isn't there also like a Rumble special edition of Backstage happening tomorrow as well? And that's where they're going to number 30 spot in the...
Yes, and announce 1 and 2 for men. Yes. But man, like, Paul fucking kills it on there. And, like, the way he promoted the match, and you could see that he finds KO to be a threat because he's so bothered by the man's mere existence. I everything about this feud. And something, Foster brings up a great point. Thank you, Foster, because I wanted to mention this too. Dude, even the body language, I fucking love these people. Oh my God. Because the moment KO started to puff his chest out, Roman got a bit more disgusted, but more than that, when KO insisted that he was going to be the last man standing, there was a brief moment where Roman's eyes darted to the ground. Like, he couldn't even look at Kevin. Couldn't even look him in the eye because it's so overwhelming. Like, this guy does not fear me. If I don't have fear, what do I have? That's what Roman's asking himself when Kevin's talking. If I don't have fear, what do I have? Because this dude is just still coming for me. See, and one final point, because you guys knew that I was going to go long on this. This is the best thing to me that WWE is doing right now. There were people in the beginning that's like, oh, I don't want Roman to face Kevin Owens. I want him to face Kevin Steen. And I let people have their fun. You know, I never like to dogpile. But I will say, with all due respect, like, this is why Kevin Steen never needed to happen. Because to me, I look at this, and I feel like without trying too hard, this does have a similar energy to Triple H finding out that he's not facing Mankind, he's facing Cactus Jack. But Kevin Owens is still Kevin Owens. It's just really sinking in for Roman. Like, I've speared him. I've Superman punched him. I've thrown him off the fucking Thunderdome. I've punched him in the nuts off a ladder. I've put him in my guillotine. I've sick Jay on him. He's still coming for me. What the fuck am I dealing with here? Because, like, I need to end it. Heyman, again, is so anxious that Kevin Owens exists. At the end of Talking Smack, dude, KO pulls up a chair next to Paul, and Paul just has this look on his face like, kill me. Kill me. I can't get one fucking thing. Because he just got done having an evil smile because he can see that he's kind of turning Apollo a little bit. Then KO pulls the chair up, and it's just like, oh. It doesn't even say anything. It's a completely silent thing. And then he goes over to Paul, and he's like, come here. And Paul's like, no, I'm just an advocate. No, come here. And then he just says, you feel that? Because, like, he could tell, like, how tense he makes Heyman, how tense he makes Roman. And then he puts his hand out, and Heyman just like, come on, I know. And Kevin's like, come on. And Heyman shakes it. And then the moment KO walks off screen, Heyman's wiping that hand on his suit, and he takes out his handkerchief to clean his hand off. And all that leads to this, and I want to say this now just because I might forget in the midst of our minigame and everything else. If KO loses, I'll be locking in my prediction tomorrow. If KO loses at Rumble, dude, I am begging WWE, give me KO versus Lesnar at Mania. Because he even mentioned to Heyman, I wanted to fight Brock Lesnar. You never talked to Brock Lesnar about fighting me. Because I love KO and Heyman interacting together, and you need to keep this Owens hot. You need to. I don't want him to do some stupid fucking, I don't know, Smackdown underground shit if they started to do that fucking shit. I don't want him to do weak milquetoast mid-card shit. Keep him fucking hot. I'm itching for Owens Lesnar at Mania if he's not the champion. Oh my God. So yeah, as you guys can tell, I kind of like this segment. It was okay. So, yeah, that fucking happened. Then we get the big... Do we even need to talk about the clusterfuck that was Daniel Bryan?
I was even going to suggest to you, once we get to, like, the Bryan Styles, if you have anything that you really, really wanted to talk about, you can, but I don't, and I'm cool with just skipping until the end of the show.
Skip. All right. Then at the very end, where everybody's just trying to establish dominance, fucking Braun Strowman comes out. He clears the ring, and essentially his last minute. Dude, you know what? You already said you were a little loose-lipped. Fuck it. This is something I will say. I am really scared that Braun's a favorite this Sunday. And I'll tell you why. Because apparently before he got injured, that whole suspension was so that Braun could heal from an injury. The plan was to do Drew and Braun at TLC. I'm hoping they're not thinking that that's Mania worthy, because I'm genuinely scared. Like, I am going to own my feelings to all of you. I am terrified this man's going to win the fucking match. I'm guessing you don't share my fears, or maybe you do.
Oh, no, I you know what? Let me put it this way. As soon as Braun showed up, I edited my prediction spreadsheet to put him in my Final Four. I'm not going any further than that. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm not going to reveal whether I have him winning, but his presence is obviously something that had an effect on me for me to go that far. And now you might not, maybe I went a step further than that. You don't know. You'll find out tomorrow night. But yes, it is a perfectly valid concern for you to have. Okay.
I'm glad you actually have my back here, because I looked at that and I'm like, fuck, they're talking about the shape he's in. Has he ever been worn out? It's fucking hell.
Yep.
I will say, again, without making any formal predictions, if Braun fucking wins the Rumble, I am going to be so fucking deflated. Like, I really don't care about that being Drew's matchup.
Yeah, I actually forget. Is Braun a Raw guy or a SmackDown guy? He's a Raw guy, right?
He is a Raw guy. Yeah, as early as Survivor Series, he was a Raw guy. So yeah, I don't know, man. Obviously, he would get to choose his champion, and I know him and Roman have an extensive rivalry. But I would think that he'd stay on Raw and he'd try to go for Drew if he won.
Yeah, he versus Drew is much more like. It just makes more sense to me. Him. Yeah. Like I feel like he. I don't know. Like, he's one of those faces that has very heelish energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't even really call him a face. I think he's more of a tweener. And you don't want somebody that has any heelish qualities whatsoever going against Roman at Mania. Whereas with Drew, I think that it makes more sense for a tweener to be an opponent for him. Like, that's kind of what Goldberg is right now. Goldberg's kind of a tweener right now to be his opponent at Rumble. So... yeah, I think if Braun does win the Rumble, he would definitely pick Drew as his opponent at Mania.
Yeah.
Or maybe it would be Goldberg if Goldberg wins on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, and it definitely seems like the chat is sharing some of our fears. But yeah, I really, to be perfectly honest with you guys, and this just shows you where Braun has gone with me, because there was a time, much like so many other acts, unfortunately, that I really liked Braun, and I was really excited about his future. Man, how time changes things. I forgot about him. I don't know about you, Ashton. I completely forgot Braun Strowman existed.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot about his existence until he fucking showed up tonight.
Like, I'm not going to be hyperbolic.
Low-key, it had about the same impact on me as Lars Sullivan. Like, when Lars Sullivan was just gone for all those months, and I completely forgot about him as well, and then he just showed up randomly, like, oh, what? Why?
Yeah, like, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I actually did this, because I didn't, but thinking back on it, my reaction really should have been hearing that music, oh, fuck, because that's how I'm feeling now. Yeah. Like, the moment that music, I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot about it. And then, I don't want to be on their head too much, because God knows how much Vince is in their ear. I mean, Corey Graves is an exception. Forever fuck Corey Graves. Yeah. But, like, fuck commentary, man. Because, like, I'm sorry, they're trying to make it this thing. Does that mean Braun's confirmed for the Rumble? What do you fucking think?
As if he's going to show up and just not be in it.
Yeah, like, am I a joke to you? Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. But yeah, that happened. That happened. I just want to say, with them making Braun look like this, extra apologies to all Keith Lee fans, us included, because this fucking should have been his spot. This should have been his spot, like imposing his will on everybody. But no, just give it to the guy that, you know, thinks that poor people should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Yeah, that's totally cool. Fuck him. All right, next segment. High spots and low shots. I'm going to say my low shot is Bayley. Because even with an advantage over Bianca having wounded her shoulder, Bianca persevered through it and beat her. And kayfabe-wise, that gives Bianca more momentum in the Rumble than it does Bayley. So Bayley's my low shot.
You know what? That's a really good low shot, but I do feel like you gave me a layup here. Dominic Mysterio, easy.
Fuck yeah, fam. You know what? It's perfect for you to have it, though, because, like, again, you've been highlighting the vulnerabilities and the greenness long before I have. Yeah. So I'm totally cool with that. I'm also going to take a layup for high spot. I am feeling the mood to put in a lot of effort. Fucking Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's clearly in Roman's head. I think Roman is also in his head, though. They're in each other's heads. And I just cannot fucking wait for this match this Sunday. Dude, I really hope that this is one of those instances where you and we just have no issues, because I want to see this match from beginning to end. I will throw a fucking fit if it's otherwise. So I'm psyched. Yeah, Kevin Owens, easy high spot. What about you, bro? Who's your high spot?
You know, from a strictly Royal Rumble implications perspective, this high spot doesn't really work at all, or at least not very well. But from a strictly what actually happened on the show perspective, my high spot is Bianca Belair, because she got literally what they kept calling the biggest win of her career, and like they interviewed her after it and everything. So that's a pretty cool.
That makes perfect sense to me, friend. All right. With that said, guys, this has been Smackdown. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-ordinator commentary Ashton. Guys, be sure to like the video as you file out. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for Friday Night SmackDown reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like. Be sure to comment down below when this video is done processing. How do you feel about the Royal Rumble hype? How scared are you now that Braun Strowman's back, that you're favorite to win it, or just maybe
or excited if you wanted him to win?
Or excited. That is true. That is true. There are Braun Strowman fans out there, and we do not judge you at all. And yeah, everybody's free to like who they like. So how worried or excited are you about the emergence of Braun Strowman? We know that a lot of spots aren't filled. Who are some people that you are still hoping will be in the Royal Rumble if they have not been confirmed yet? Talk to us, talk to us, talk to us. Be sure to click the bell icon and subscribe so you never miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box, including our Twitch channel, which we will be using next Monday and Friday, respectively, for post-Royal Rumble Raw and SmackDown Among Us Twitch streams, both going live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday and Friday of next week. So yeah, you're going to want to get on the Twitch channel. Check out our Patreon, where we break down everything we offer patrons. Most immediately, I just want to say for $1, you can get 2 additional Q&A questions for a total of 5, because non-Patreon donors are currently slated to only get 3 Q&A questions. So Patreon donors will get 5 total. Next Q&A is February 25th, because we do Q&A last Thursday of every month, and the 25th is where that falls. So YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, you can submit your Q&A questions. And I did put my pinned tweet up after the Q&A last night, so you guys want to get in on that. So that's that. For $3 a month, I was talking about us doing Among Us Twitch streams. You can join the TWitWoW Discord and hopefully play Among Us with us. I've loved that we've been doing that every Monday, and now we're going to do it, again, Monday and Friday of next week. So that's going to be very exciting. I think it's a great time. I know our patrons really seem to enjoy it. And it's really become a highlight of my week as well. And you guys know, I'm not going to say anything other than, I know I haven't always been participatory in the Discord, but this is like one of the best things I do in my week. It definitely puts a smile on my face, connecting with you guys. So join the party. We're always looking for a full lobby of 10. More people to murder and more lies to conjure. So it's a great time. Again, that's only $3 a month. So you want to get in on that. Follow us on every bit of social media we're involved in, most notably the Twitter handles. My pinned tweet for my handle, @John_TwitWoW, is to collect Q&A questions. So if you have Q&A questions you want to submit, that's the easiest place to go to. I'll see them. They're saved, and makes it a lot easier for us come Q&A day. Ashton, who is @Ashton_TwitWoW, his pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for the month. So currently, obviously, we're still in January. Next month, when February comes around, he'll do a whole new schedule for that. So what I would like to do is, since I've already talked about the post-Royal Rumble Raw and SmackDown Among Us streams, I'm not going to read those. You guys know that they're happening Monday, February 1st, and Friday, February 5th, respectively, both at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will just want to walk us through the other remaining commentaries. Obviously, most immediately, tomorrow at 8, we are previewing Royal Rumble 2021. It's going to be fucking awesome. Sunday, we're live reacting to it at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then after the post-Royal Rumble Raw Among Us Twitch stream, Wednesday, February 3rd, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we've got our NXT review. And then, of course, Friday, February 5th again, we're doing Among Us Twitch stream for SmackDown, 8 p.m. So that will conclude the month of January and start the month of February. be sure to tune in for all of that. And again, most immediately, we will see you at 8 p.m. each time for tomorrow, previewing Royal Rumble 2021. So with that said, I thank you all for joining us. You're all wonderful. No matter what Royal Rumble is, I know it's going to be better with all of your presence in the chat. We're all going to be feeding off of each other's energy. Let's hope for the best for our faves, and let's hope for the worst for those we're rooting against. And I'll go to WrestleMania. We'll have to see Saturday and Sunday. Royal Rumble weekend officially begins now. And until then, tune in. Peace out.